I'm Ryan Noakes, and I believe that data and analytics should drive business results. I do not believe that a report for a report's sake or data for the sake of we do data is going to be helpful in the long run. And what I strive to help everyone I work with is to help them find the insights in their data that leads to better decision making and measurable financial improvement in a company. So I want to show you some examples of what I mean and what I strive to do in my work and how I want to help you. Okay, so for example, okay, most reports look like this. All companies have data. Maybe it's in a spreadsheet, maybe it's in an accounting system, maybe it's in some SaaS application you use. A lot of data looks like this, right? It's a big table of numbers, and you have to sit there and you've got to analyze it and think about it. What does this tell me? What is this? What do I do with this? How do I act on that? What does this mean? Okay, you might even have some filters or some things, but it's still a lot of manual work and analysis to get to. So is that really that useful? Our time is limited, and being able to have the time to sit down and the discipline to carve out time in your schedule, sit down, analyze this stuff, think about it, and then be like, okay, how does this translate into a decision? And then what impact will that decision have? Right? We just don't have the time for that. Okay, let's do another one where we look at some charts. Okay, so here's one. I've gone out to Google and I've typed in executive dashboard. Okay, you'll see one over here. And what does this tell us? Total investments. We've got this stream graph here. Move my face a little bit so it's clear to see. Okay, so we can see the stream graph. I've got this pie chart. I see top categories. So what? What does this tell us? Looks nice. The colors are nice. But what does this tell us? What insight do I get as a result of this? Let's look at another one. Okay, here's one. This is small, but financial health overview. Cash flow versus operating income. I've got a bunch of indicators up or down. So where do I focus? What is the key insight here that I need to take away or that I need to like take some action on? Okay, here's one. What about this? Bacon sizes, bacon defects, box weights. Okay, what do I get here, right? Now, let me show you. This is the kind of work that I strive to build. Okay, that is, we mix a combination of both written and visual insight that helps you understand what is going on, what you need to do, or why it's happening, and what you need to do about it. Okay, so look at this here. You can see, like we're looking at wind turbines. So we've got some nice visual design elements, but we can also see, okay, some key performance indicators. How are we doing versus a benchmark or a target or versus prior period? We've got the written insight that tells you what the change is. We're using visual best practices to highlight what are our biggest times. Okay, and we can see that both times and months. And then we can see here, out of the 172,000 visits to the stations, 5% led to a manual shutdown of the turbines. So we know, right? And then we can drill into more detail. That's what I want to do for you. I want to build you insights where you're like, oh, I see what's going on. I understand what I need to do as a result. Okay, and the way I do that is because I follow a process. Every time I build, I follow a process. So I start here with my context. Okay, who's the intended audience? What are we solving for? What kind of actions will be taken as a result? So for example, like I need to understand my sales and I need to understand what's driving my sales up or down. Are there pockets where we're winning? Are there pockets where we're not winning? And with that information, I'm going to double down on what's winning. I'm going to make some adjustments of X, Y, and Z on the things that are not working, and then I'm going to evaluate from there the results. Okay, so that would be an example of a process we might go through in talking about your project. I want to understand how you're interacting with these, how frequently you're using them. I want to understand the data, talking through the key metrics, talking through what these things mean, where is it stored, so that I can build this for you. And then let's bring in those design elements like we talked about, where we've got both visual things, like we're coloring like key points to draw your eye, where we've got written text that's dynamic as you filter and interact. It updates, it shows you the things that you need. Okay, and then ultimately, can we pass the 10-second rule, which is, can I look at this and I see in 10 seconds or less one thing that I didn't know before that helps me move the business forward? Okay, so I am Ryan Noakes, and I want to help you do those things. I've worked with a whole bunch of companies you've heard of and many companies you haven't. And we'd be happy to apply that process to finding insights and driving results for you. Thanks. Talk soon.